You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Wepa familia, welcome. It's your boy Al Mega here with another cosmic episode blast of the Comic Crusaders Podcast. And today's episode, is a homecoming celebration, baby. It is 4 years in the making, baby. We are bringing back a creator who's gone from crusading, from moon hopping to full-on star commanding, baby. It is none other than a legendary creator that has lit up the indie scene with a book named The CruZader, with a Z, baby. He has brought flair with Moon Girl, that's right. And now he is going full-on throttle into the cosmos with Major Thomás. That's right. It's a brand new release from Comixology Originals. It is featuring the stellar art of Serg and Mora. Now let's get into it, baby, as we talk legacy, leadership, Latino power, and a whole lot of laughs with the big boss himself, the one, the only Omar Morales. How we doing, mi gente?
Wepa, my man, it's good to be back, dude. We were just chatting how the last time I was on was episode 56. Now it's number 560. The symmetry of the numbers is amazing.
Isn't that, bro? It's almost Aztec and shit. That clock is winding down, baby. Let's talk about it. Winding up. Let's go. Let's go. Omar, yeah, absolutely. 4 years. Wow, in 4 years, I've gone from 56 to over 500 episodes. Insane. So, yeah, now that I even think about that, it's crazy. But again, welcome back. I've seen you journey. You've been doing some stuff, bro. You have been out there. You have been making your mark, especially as a Latino creator, man. So of course, you know me, Mr. Wepa over here, Mr. Puerto Rico over here. Absolutely appreciate seeing a fellow Bronxian out there doing his thing, man. Hey, Danny, what up? Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. As always, man, one of the first to always tune in. So, Omar, my dude, talk about, bro, what's changed in your creative universe?
Yeah.
Our last episode.
Back then I was still kind of just hustling and doing my own self-publishing and Kickstarter crowdfunding and, anthology work and my own little fan fictions. I put out a Mandalorian fan fiction that I did. Then I did a Metroid fan fiction. But then really my first kind of big break here in comics was with Comixology Originals with the new title you just brought up, Major Thomás. And that one's one that I've been working on deep cuts for a long time, man, since even before we spoke last time, right? The story has been kind of marinating in my head for like 10 years. And then when COVID hit, I sat down and put my hands on the keyboard. And Wepa, here we go. I got a script. Now I need some artists. That's when I hired Serg and Raul Angulo, and they started it. And then it was finished by Mora and Fabi Marquez. And then excellent lettering by the homie Taylor Esposito. And I'm really proud of this team we've assembled because it's all Latinos. And we got cover art from Renee Delis. I believe she's of Portuguese background. And then we have Taylor Esposito. I mentioned Argentinian background. And then graphic design by Gab Contreras. She's from Peru. So we got the global representation for this interplanetary adventure.
Yeah, that song, baby. Let's go. I love it, man. This is a spicy book, and I'm already loving it. So talk to me, Omar. What sparked this wild space adventure? Was it caffeine? Was it insomnia? Or just too many rewatchings of The Expanse? What was going on here?
All right. So if I'm keeping it real, my wife and I went to a concert way back in like 2009, San Francisco. And one of the warm-up acts was a band called Shiny Toy Guns. And they did a cover of the song Major Tom. It was originally a 80s song from the German singer Peter Schilling. And they did a cover of it that just blew the roof off the place. And the song's about an astronaut who's lost in space. And he's desperate to get back home. He's sad, he's lonely, he's cold out there, and he's desperate to get back to Earth. So that really sparked something in me, man. Like, they sang that song with so much emotion that I was like, I got to know more about this guy. Maybe I should tell his story in my own way, where the astronaut is a brown guy, you know, and it's not, you know, 1960s London or 1980s Germany.
We're not afraid of space, man. We just afraid to crash.
That's what's up, Al. But then listen, that same year, I was further inspired by an actual hero of mine, Jose M. Hernandez, one of the first Mexicans in space. He actually was an immigrant who came here as a farm worker, applied to NASA 11 times, and then he finally got in. Okay,
11 times. Wow.
They made a movie about his life.
Oh, okay, I know. All right.
On Amazon Prime Video right now, called A Million Miles Away. And he actually did the forward to my book, Al. I reached out to him like probably 10 or 11 times. And then finally.
So as many times as he reached out to NASA, you reached out to him.
I had to show him I was persistent, just like him, right? And so eventually, you know, we were able to get together, and he did it the forward for me. I showed him the whole book. He loved it. And so a little extra trivia, dude. Jose M. Hernandez, the famous astronaut, is from the same hometown as my dad, which is La Piedad, Michoacan, Mexico. So the odds, it was like written in the stars that he and I would cross paths one day.
That's
and
crazy.
You know, he's got his movie about his real life, and I am making comics with all kinds of action and adventure and space aliens and whatnot. And so
I know how Mexico is, because, you know, again, a lot of towns within Mexico, and again, you are very right. For you to find someone in a particular sphere is very random. Like, how did you and even your dad feel about finding someone like, yo, this dude from my town made it this big?
Oh yeah, we watched the movie together, and like towards the end, I was getting a little teary-eyed, man. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I was like, yo,
how were you?
So beautiful, man, that this story is coming out about him. And then obviously with my dad, and I actually put my dad as a little cameo, one of the characters in the book. So it all came together, and he's so proud. He's so proud of me, but he's proud of his hometown. He's proud of this astronaut who's out here representing. He's such a positive force in the community. Jose does a lot of great things in the community and gives back. He's a teacher. He's an educator. He's a wine grower here locally in the area. I mean, if there's anybody that out there listening that's looking for a hero, look to a guy like that, man. Somebody who would not take no for an answer and went against all the odds and achieved something that, you know, 1 in a billion people get to do, which is fly out in space. And you know what he did when he went out in space? They put a camera on him. He brought out a Raiders flag and it said, "That's what's up. That's what I'm representing right now here in space." And dude, he stole my heart right there, because I love the Raiders too.
And aliens beware when they see a name like that.
That's right.
You know, so now, all right. So describe Major Thomás in one sentence. If that sentence was written by a caffeinated astronaut with a typewriter.
Okay, he would write, La Bamba meets Lost in Space meets Guardians of the Galaxy. Punto.
Yeah, no, look at it. You see, folks, very few creators could do this. This is why I like Omar's energy. He know. He vibing. I'm digging it. So talk to me then. What is it like teaming up with the phenomenal Serg Acuña and Mora? Because be honest, bro.
Yeah.
Who brings the better space snacks to creative meetings?
Dude. Better space snacks? Well, they're both from Costa Rica, so it's probably pretty equal, you know, in terms of who got the better snacks. They're probably bringing us the same flavors, right?
Right now, then it becomes like, whose mom was cooking better?
No, but they're both great to work with, man. Serg is amazing. He's working for DC now. The guy who did the colors for Serg's lines is Raul Angulo. He is working for like Marvel and all kinds of other great publishers. They blew up, man. And that's why, to be honest, they couldn't finish the book, because they started blowing up and they got picked up to the major leagues, you know? And so, but they were both very helpful in helping me get the next crew in to finish the mission, right? To get us into space. And that was the great Mora from Costa Rica and Fabi Marquez from Brazil. She brings the rock star energy to the colors. And then Taylor just, you know, knocks it out of the park with the letters, but also just kind of like keeping the project with the right file types and, all the intricacies that every publisher needs. And he is just a godsend in that regard. So I'm so grateful to them. They're amazing people. And of course, Gab, who tied it all together with the graphic design and all the cover artists and the pinup artists, man, thank you all. You really brought my vision, to fruition. Like that space baby at the end of 2001 Space Odyssey, he finally appeared when I assembled this team. And I knew that it was going to be a real thing.
I'm digging it now. Now, listen, bro. There's definitely some deep messaging and Major Thomás about purpose and legacy. So, was there something personal that made this story bubble up now?
It had been bubbling up in me for a while, right? Since that concert and then seeing Jose's story, and I had this thing in my head about I got to make a story about not hesitating at the moment of truth in your life. If we're lucky, we get 1 or 2 or 3 moments of truth in our life where we got to act. We got to be decisive. We got to go for it. And if you hesitate, you're going to ruin the vibrations of the universe and the opportunity that is before you. And so this is a little bit of a cautionary tale, because Thomás has to suffer quite a bit because he has a little bit too much doubt and too much hesitation. And when the moment of truth comes, he kind of messes it up for himself, and then he's got to fix it and get himself out of it. And so what I'm trying to tell people is if you know what you want, go for it, man. Have a laser focus. Don't look back. Don't doubt yourself. There's going to be obstacles in everything, but anything we're doing is hard. So do it, man. Go for it. And so I really hope that message resonates for young people, for people out there with doubts, with people with imposter syndrome, and I'm one of them too, right? Like there's been times in my life where I have hesitated, and I regret it, right? I should have acted. I should have been more decisive, especially, as a youngster out on the football field. I had a couple chances and I was too timid, man. And I should have been in there showing what I got. So
yeah,
a little bit of this story is me kind of talking to myself, but I'm sure other people can identify,
I feel that, but let me say, man, again, as a Latino too, growing up in New York, as a youngin back in the 90s, I feel that, there are some opportunities that I should have taken and I didn't because, societal norms, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Or so-called norms,
right,
prevented me from taking chances that maybe nowadays I would have taken as opposed to then. And it's all right, but we're here and we're doing what we do. Now,
that's right.
Let me ask you, Papi, because you've done some grounded, faith-based storytelling, like with CruZader, right? That's what the Z folks, all right? Now, all right. Fantastic fun with Moon Girl. And now we're floating in orbit, if you will, right? So how do you genre jump so effortlessly? You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be real with you, when I first started doing CruZader, my kids were really little, and there was no chance they were going to read it. So I went rated R. But then when they started getting a little older and started reading comics on their own, I needed to make something that was digestible for them. So I made Moon Girl, which is very easy, like rated G, maybe PG at the most, and something they could really dig into and understand. And now that they're like teenagers and young adults, that's where I'm playing right now with Major Thomás. It's a young adult title. It's clean. It's got no swearing. It's got no sexual situations. It does have some cartoony, action and violence, laser guns, laser rays.
Up the ante. You went from PG to G, from R to G to 15.
Exactly right. And then my next ideas that I'm working on off to the side, one of them's rated R and one of them's more rated G. So it just kind of depends on the material, I guess, and the story and where you can go with it, like, by the time I get those out, my kids are probably going to be full on adults. Right. And so I could probably go, more towards the rated R one. It's going to like a dystopian future story.
Oh, you want to go for not rated, man. Like those movies. Come on. Omar Morales on the line, baby.
So yeah, man, a lot of it has been done with my kids in mind because I want to have something that they can share with me and, a little legacy to leave behind. And they're creative people as well. My daughter's into theater, all aspects of it. My son's into video games, all aspects of it. he's probably going to be a game creator. And so we got the juices flowing over here in the Morales household, let me tell you.
Oh my God, that means that Omar, you're gonna get some cool free games. You'll be able to chime in. Hey, I'm gonna love it. Hey, I can't wait to see the Morales universe expand. Through the kids. This is gonna be
Hey,
amazing.
you never know. My daughter could turn it into a stage play. My son could turn it into a game, and I'll be there collecting the royalties.
Hey, exactly. The manager and shit. The dadager. Where pilots? I'm digging it. So let me ask you, bro. If Major Thomás was adapted into a Netflix series, right?
Oh,
Who's your dream cast for the lead role? And can I cameo as a snarky robot sidekick?
Oh man. I honestly think like it would be a great like animated something like a movie or whatever. But listen, I'll answer your question. The homie from Cobra Kai, I believe you pronounce his name Xolo Maridueña.
Oh, yeah, bro. Blue Beetle himself. I know, bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, he really, I think, exemplifies the Major Thomás character in that he's a little bit unsure of himself, right? Like whether it's the karate or the girls or, what's up with my mom dating, Johnny over here from Cobra Kai.
Why are you dating my sensei? Shit.
Yeah, right.
I can't even beat his ass.
He's got that kind of timidness about him, but then he steps up when he needs to. And I think that's kind of a perfect encapsulation of the character. And I think he's got the look, and he's young like Major Thomás is. And so, yeah, I think if I was, daydreaming one day, that he would be a great person to fill the boots, so to speak. But the other main character, Lisa, the love interest, I think would be really a great match for Jenna Ortega from the Addams Family, right?
Oh yeah. Listen, I saw her in person during the Scream movie.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see it in person.
Yeah.
Diablo, que muchacha más linda. Dios mío, in person. God bless her, yo. Young lady, for real. God. And she's very talented too, though. She's actually a real great actress.
Oh yeah, for real. Like
in her game, like this, like wow, yo. God bless you. Keep going, mama.
Yeah, and I would have to find a role for my man Edward James Olmos,
Oh, bro, but American Me is one of my fucking favorite movies of all effing time.
Me too, man.
If y'all ain't see American Me with Edward James Olmos, bro, yeah, and sisters out there. y'all missing out.
Oh yeah, amazing movie. And he was from Battlestar Galactica OG, so I would have to find a role for him. But yes, you could be a sassy sidekick robot. We would cast you in the role.
Hey, I love it. We've been talking about this book, and you're wondering what is Major Thomás. You know what? Let's start teasing you with some beautiful artwork, baby. That's right. Because this book is available now. This book she dropped on the 25th of March. Actually.
Yes, it's been out just a few weeks. Yeah. And let me just tell you the great attraction here is the price, man. $6.99 for a full graphic novel. Okay,
how many pages?
130 pages. Now
that's my God! Wait! Oh, I wish I had that Fun Master Flex. $6.99 for how many pages again?
130, man. And some of that's pinups and extra material. The story's about 120, but still, if I was, selling this down at the bodega, a little hardcover copy, I'd be charging $25-$30 minimum.
Yeah, this sounds like a bodega price because it sounds like it's caliente, like it's a hot book. Like, should I be buying this? Damn, bro, this is crazy. 120 pages for $6.99. Like shit, yeah, the cops coming. Oh my God, this is dope. That's a deal. Again, I'm an old school guy. You do not find that type of value in comic books at all nowadays.
Dude, sometimes an extra thick single issue might be $5 or $6, but just by itself.
Yeah, no, not even. I've seen Marvel do a 64 for $9.99. You are talking about, a lot more than that, almost double for for $6.99.
It's a full, complete story, man. You get the whole thing, beginning, middle, end. You get to see Thomás as a little boy. You get to see him as a high school kid. You get to see him as a young adult and see his adventures in space. and you get to find out, most importantly, what happens to him. Does he ever make it back? Why is it so important that he gets back? Who's left behind on Earth? These are all the questions I had in my head when I used to listen to that song, Major Tom, and I wanted to know more about him. So I just created my own version with a little bit of a brown tint to it, and told a story that I think reflects what he goes through on Earth as a farm worker. He experiences a lot of the same things out in space. And I would want everybody to keep that in mind and make those connections as you're reading. You know, what is a fun story? You know, it's robots and aliens and spaceships and guns, but still there's a story there underneath it all that's hopefully going to really touch a lot of people.
And let's get into the artistry, because this is the gorgeous cover. There's so much going on. Let me say, when I see that like that space rocket right there, I saw the Challenger blow up as a kid.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
I mean, live.
Yeah, I know.
You too?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that shit traumatized me. And then when I saw it again in the late 90s, early 2000s, the other ship that blew up, I thought it was the replay of the Challenger. And then they're like, oh my God, it blew up. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I just see a second one in my lifetime? What in the fuck is... Bro, I'm never going to watch these again. I feel like Bro, but talk about this amazing cover, man, because...
Yeah,
wow.
This is covered by Renee Delis, who I mentioned earlier, and her husband, Ray. They tag team, right? She does the art, and then he fills in the colors. She knocked it out of the park, man. I drew like a pencil sketch, stick figures of this. I said, I want the astronaut in the middle. I need his girlfriend right there. She's looking sad. I need this bully that's always been around his life, kind of on his shoulder, looking mad. And then I need a gray alien. I need a robot monkey. And then down underneath, we want to see young Thomás kind of playing, and he's going to the horizon, looking to the stars. He wants to fly his little toy rocket, but he wants to be a real astronaut. And so in one image, we have the story and the flavor where subconsciously you just look at this and you kind of know already what it's about, you know, without even reading a single page, you know.
This poor young man does not know what the future holds for him.
That's right. That's right.
I love it. And there goes that creative squad, because we got Omar, we got Serg, we got Mao, we got Raul, we got Fabi, Taylor, Gab, Contreras, Joey. Oh my, you're not playing como están los Latinos aquí, bro. I love it. I love it. And look at that. I need that on a t-shirt, man. When we getting that?
So interestingly enough, the other cover, the digital cover for Amazon, has a character who wears this as a t-shirt. And so my idea is someday I am going to make this as a shirt. It's going to be a nice like raglan baseball shirt with the 3/4 sleeves, nice and blue.
Oh,
a white body, and then the logo right there. So I'm going to have one set aside for you, Al.
Oh, yeah, to see that and carry a name like that, Munoz, that's dope, man. Check that out, bro.
That's my mom's maiden name.
Oh, see? Look at the inspiration we learn about here. Look at my man using his familia. I love it. I love it. And it's this, though. Look at this art, man. Whoa, bro.
So he's about to take off in space, and he is not sure of himself, man. His leg is shaking. He's nervous. He's got this letter from the lady he loves, who's basically saying, let me go, because, you know, you're going off to space now, and I wanted to wait for you, but you told me not to, so fine, go live your life. And so that messes him up.
Of course. He's like, Papi, since you're going to space, I'm gonna need some earth wearable, and so you gotta let me go. That's horrible. Poor guy is about to serve his country, man, and Earth.
He's serving Earth because in this story, he becomes Earth's first hyperspace traveler. Oh. He's going out to find another planet that's possibly...
So wait, so in this world, Earth as a whole, like you mean the countries are united as one?
They're united as one behind him because they know that we need to eventually find other places to live, because we are chewing this planet up, dude. We're eating up all the resources and, you know, messing it up. So he really is the hope of humanity.
Who the hell is funny? Is Bill Gates?
No, man, this is U.S. taxpayer funded. No Elon Musk necessary.
No necessary. There we go. This is not waste, all right? This needs to happen. I'm digging it. But again, look at this artistry. Look at this panel work. Tell me, for example, Omar, I mean, again, this is your baby. You have this wonderful team. You get this page in your hands, bro. How did you feel?
Oh, it feels amazing. It's like it's like watching a baby being born, right? First, the baby's just an idea. Then you write down what you think it's going to look like. And then when the baby finally pops out, it's like, oh, that's what you look like. I've been imagining you for so long, and I love it, dude. The line work and then the colors and then the letters really bring it all together. It really is like a birth process for me as a creator when the pages start rolling in.
And let me ask, bro, how do you balance intense storytelling with those cool moments of let's say comic relief that keep your books from ever feeling heavy?
Yeah,
you are a very enlightened writer. You write some fun stuff.
Thank you, man. When there's time for a light, quiet moment like these two are having right here, where the robot is actually trying to get Thomás to calm down. He says, "Come here, Thomas, give me your hands. Let's do a little breathing exercise." That's a nice, quiet moment before he goes out to confetti and cameras and mics in his face and the whole world's watching him. The monkey comes in. He's like the Jiminy Cricket of this story, right? He's the conscience. He's the conscience who's always by Thomás's side and helping him navigate his life and his self-doubts. And so here we have this quiet moment. And if you keep, go to the next page, we'll see what I mean. Where now we have this very loud moment, oh, here comes the hero who's going to help us find another planet, and confetti and cameras and news commentators saying Thomás is going out to space and everybody's watching him. So I don't know how you consciously balance those things. It just comes natural, I guess you could say. I don't have like a math equation that says I need funny here, I need action here, I need quiet moment here, I need drama here. I was trained as a journalist, right? So it's almost like I'm going into a trance and I'm writing a story of what's happening in my head, and I just kind of lay it out
in your head.
I just lay it out how I see it playing out in my head.
Is that a Latino thing? Because when I was in high school, I had my own dean tell me, "Alex, if I'm ever going to give you advice, you should be a journalist." I'm like, "Why?" And she goes, "Because you don't go around in circles when you write. You just get to the point, and that's the thing."
That's another piece of feedback I've been getting on this story, where it's resonating, but people like that it's fast paced.
Get to the fucking point.
Right. I could have done a longer story, but I like to economize and get to the point.
Yeah, but we could get to those points later on, depending how much many.
Oh, sure.
Character, you know what I mean? So, and that's something else, involving character development, which I wanted to ask you. So, like, what's Major Thomás struggling with internally that might surprise readers expecting a standard space story here?
Yeah, well, when you see this, you think, oh, here's a guy who's got it together, man. This guy went through NASA training. He was the chosen one for going to space. He's probably just on top of the world right now, but he's not, because he loves this woman, and I don't want to give away too much, but like, he has her best interest in mind, because he's supposed to be out in space for 10 years, but there's 10 years, because of the stretching of space time, and he's got to go through the wormhole. He's going to lose 10 years. And
wait. All right. I want to, okay. I've been learning a lot when it comes to space time and all this shit. So space time, 10 years, does it actually equate to 10 Earth years, or is that space time years? Because which won't equate to Earth years?
Yeah. Those are 10 Earth years. For him, it's going to feel like nothing. It's going to feel like I'm going through the wormhole. I'm 1 second older than I was a second ago, but back on Earth.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, right. And he's going to lose 10 years. So he doesn't want to put her in a position where she's waiting for 10 years and where he may never come back, because it's dangerous out in space. And so he's just trying to say, yo, like, you do what you got to do. I may never come back. And that really messes him up, because really at this crowning moment for him, she should be there cheering him on, loving him, and making a pact that, no matter what happens, we're going to be back together someday.
You should be shooting him like that monkey right there. Look at that in Diablo, man.
Yeah, so that's what kind of messes him up, and that's the internal struggle that he's going through. And that plays out, and then eventually we do see what I'm talking about when they have this discussion about their futures, because this skips back and forth in time a little bit in the beginning, we see the crowning moment, but then we go back to his childhood, and then we see high school, and then we see him as a young adult with Lisa, the love of his life. So yeah, he's got a lot of things going on up here at a moment when really you should be very, very clear-minded and very focused on what you got to do.
Gotcha. So let me ask you, what are some real-world influences, political, spiritual, or even just plain nerdy, that help shape the Major Thomás world?
All kinds of stuff, bro. I could probably talk to you for about another hour about all this stuff, but there's a lot of Easter eggs that I put in here just for the nerds out there, you know. If anybody remembers the old TV show Alf,
of course.
Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes on a swivel. Keep your head on a swivel. You'll see a little Easter egg of Alf. Everybody who knows me knows I'm a Raiders fan, so there's a little homage to some characters in the book that are very much Raider-like. They're rough, they're tough, they ride motorcycles, they don't take no shit from nobody. They're renegades and they're pirates, right? That's how we roll in Oakland. There's some little homages.
With Oakland right now, baby. Let's go. Don't fuck around.
There's some little homages to Star Wars and even Star Trek, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I want it to be balanced and fair with the Easter eggs, you know. But listen, there's a lot of cultural and family stuff in this book from me, right? Not just my mom's maiden name, or like my dad makes a little cameo appearance as a character, I think, on the next page, or but there's some stuff about our heritage going back to Mesoamerica and the Aztecs and down to modern day. And that's something that he's got to pull on, is that warrior's blood that he's got inside of him to really survive this war that he gets lost into in space. So there's all that. There's obviously real life NASA, which I'm interested in, you know. So it's a classic hero's journey, very traditional science fiction, but it's very much comes from, you know, what is that magician, that comedian, the mind of Mencia? Well, this is the mind of Morales. You're gonna get a peek inside my head when you read this story, and you will know me more even if you've never met me in your life, because this story is me and I am it through and through.
There we go. So let me ask you, you've published through various channels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Comixology Originals is a unique beast in the comic book field, right? So what's the experience been like, and why Comixology Originals for Thomás?
Bro, it's been so wonderful working with these people. They love comics, but then they have the backing of this 8,000-pound gorilla called Amazon behind them. This global
Amazon, what's that?
They've got the horsepower to really amplify and really touch all points on Earth. And, you know, who knows? Maybe someday Amazon will deliver packages in space, man. They got it covered. And the team, as well as the marketing arm, Superfan Productions, amazing people. My goal with this really, you know, is not to make money. It's to reach the young people out there and inspire them. And Amazon gives me that global footprint. And again, the synergies with Jose M. Hernandez and his movie streaming on Amazon as an Amazon original movie on Prime. It was written in the stars, Al. I had started talking to Comixology like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, but my contact there left after 2 weeks and he went to some other company. So I was literally left floating in space with no tether, wondering, who do I talk to next? I really want to keep this conversation going. And a year later, almost by accident, I got reconnected with Comixology and we picked up where we left off. And next thing you know, we got a deal going. We got a contract going. And here we go. March 25th, we blasted off. And it just goes to show you, man, sometimes when you think something's lost, it's not lost. The opportunity is still there. You just got to think in terms of space-time, man. You
got to get back on that highway or get back on that trajectory, whatever it is. And, you know, it's just a momentary deviation, folks.
A momentary deviation. You just got to connect the 2 points in the quantum entanglement and realize that our brains can't process time the way it should be, which is all simultaneous.
Yeah.
And so any win or any loss, and I just posted about this earlier on Twitter, that like any loss you feel or any win you feel is temporary, man. it's cyclical, and sometimes they're weirdly connected together. This door closes, another door opens. Maybe not as soon as you like, but the first publisher that looked at this was a big publisher, and it didn't work out. But it gave me confidence. Like, hey, I got their attention. They really liked this. We had long conversations over several months, so I knew I had something now. I just had to stick with it, man. I had to stick, with it and have that animo. I had to really dig deep, much like the character in the story. So.
You see, inspirational for you. Hear this, man? That's right. You're dig fucking deep, believe in your shit. Don't effing stop me, gente. All right, that's what it is. Yeah. If you could travel back and tell the Omar from my episode 56, one thing about the journey ahead of you at that time, what would it be? And bonus points if it rhymes, man. If you want to.
Oh no, it's not gonna rhyme. It's 2 words, man. Don't quit. A lot of people ask me for advice about comics. I say the only thing I'm qualified to say is don't quit, man. That really is my message. It's the message in this story. When you're making comics, and I'm sure you've experienced this from your corner of the world, there's 100 things that will get in your way, discourage you, make you feel like you want to quit. But if you've got something burning inside you that you've got to do, there's a story you got to tell, do it, and do it however you can. Even if you don't get a publisher, do it on your own. Put it out on your own website. Do it as a Kickstarter. Maybe do it as a serialized webcomic. But if there's a burning story inside of you, tell it, man. Find a way to tell it. That was it for me with Major Thomás. I met with the great Joe Illidge from DC Comics fame.
I know, Joe. But let me tell you how proud I was when I went to New York Comic Con last year. I'm going up the steps to the area where the cosplayers in New York Comic Con. I'm going with a friend of mine. I'm just talking to them. Going up the steps, not seeing who's in front of me. All of a sudden I hear, "Ow, Mega!" I'm like, "What the heck?" And I'm like,
it was Joe.
He knows me. I'm like, I'm supposed to say hello to you first.
Yeah, right.
I ain't shit. You know what I mean? But
he's a great dude.
Special, man.
He's a great dude. But he basically said, "Look, I know you're probably working on a lot of different pitches and a lot of different story ideas, but you got to really focus in on the one that you cannot live without telling. Like, if you're going to die, you got to make sure you get the story out." And Major Thomás, that is it for me. When people ask me, what is your dream project? I say, I already did it. It's called Major Thomás, and it sells for $6.99 on Comixology Originals. Please buy it today and leave me a rating.
That's it. So let's talk about it. What's that one panel in Major Thomás that made you pause and say, damn, we really did that?
Man, there's a couple. Let's just say, because I don't want to spoil anything, there's a panel that Mal drew of the shuttle being stretched, right? The space-time stretch as it's about to go in the wormhole and he's about to go. And that right there not only is a cool action science fiction image, but it's also the hinge point or the fulcrum point of the entire story, right? Once Thomás goes through that wormhole, ain't no going back. His life is changed forever, and maybe not in a good way. So he literally is being stretched between 2 worlds right there. Here's another little secret I'm going to give to you and to your listeners. He ends up out lost in space, and he's on this planet that's like half bright and half dark, because it's stuck, kind of like our moon, how there's a dark side of the moon and the bright side. This planet is going around its sun, but only one side gets the sun and the other side is freezing cold and snowy. And then in the middle, there's these little strips of like twilight, right? Where it's never dark, it's never light. It's just right in the middle all the time, 24/7. And there's a scene where he's leaving his girlfriend that he loves, and he's standing in the doorway, and he's half sun and half dark in the shadows. And it's a little like a foreshadowing, literally, of what he's going to experience out in space. So that's a little something to keep your eyes open for.
Hey, oh man, you hear this, folks? Holy shit. Bro, you see, this book is what you got to spend. And listen, only $6.99. Make it rain. Over 100 pages, folks, all right? Now, you've always spotlighted underrepresented voices. Now, how does Major Thomás continue in that mission, especially with the multicultural vibes?
Yeah, man. He really represents people who come to this country looking for their dreams, looking for their opportunities, right? And it doesn't matter what flavor of brown you are. It doesn't matter if you're from an Asian country. It doesn't matter if you're from a penguin from Antarctica. If you're coming here as an immigrant, you are looking for opportunity. And there's a lot to say in this book because his girlfriend is like of mixed ethnicity, but she has a place too, man. She speaks Spanish. She's down for the cause. She's part of the community. She's one of the farmers in the migrant farm housing, and there's room for people like that too. And I think about my own kids who are of mixed ethnicity, right? They're half Mexican from me, and then some other things, Islander from their mom, and European mix. But you know what? If you're down, you're down. It doesn't matter, what your genetics are. If you are part of the culture, you are part of the culture. So I kind of got lost in your question there, though, but hopefully, you're getting a flavor of what I was going for with this story. Because, my parents...
You're getting a story about everybody is an every man. It's multicultural in the sense like, listen, every vibe could kind of feel what's going on here. There's a piece of everyone in the story of who Major Thomás is, I would believe.
Yeah, and even though he's a fictional character, this isn't all bullshit, Al. Not only do we have Jose M. Hernandez, who is the astronaut I've been talking about a lot today, but there's also other Latinos who are in NASA. These are real people, right? There was one lady who came from Colombia. She was a housekeeper. She put herself through college cleaning people's houses. She made it as an engineer. She went to NASA. She became a flight director. Okay, that's no fiction. That's no comic book. That's real life. Okay,
a housekeeper to that. Wow.
There's another lady who was born in Mexico. She came here. She was working at McDonald's. She told her mom she wanted to go out in space. Just in the last few years, she went into space. Okay, so from house cleaner and from McDonald's, coming from another country, these people made it. Okay, these are brown women who are, you can put on a pedestal to say, that's what's up.
Get it, mommy.
That's what's up. On top of Jose, and now I'm throwing Major Thomás into the lexicon. Even though he's fictional, he's still representing real people, and that's very important for me to tell people that this ain't no BS. This is real. Okay. Now I'm throwing in robots and giant lizards and space battles.
We got that too. I mean, listen, but you never know what's in the desert, all right?
Area 51.
Hey, so now, bro, you got to give me the pitch me or ditch me line. Why should every comic fan pick up Major Thomás today?
It's a timeless classic story, man. A hero's journey that starts as coming of age. It's got phenomenal art. I, as the creator, try to get out of the way of the artist and let them do their thing, man. Make their magic on the page. And it's a quick read. Hopefully it's a fun read, and it leaves you feeling like, I need some more of this. I got to have more of these adventures with these characters. And what's really touching to me is the people that were working on it. I think Fabi in particular, when it came to the end of the project, she said, like, man, I've come so attached to these characters. Like, I'm having a hard time kind of letting go of this project. And that to me really spoke volumes. The team is all rooting for this. Serg and Raul, even though they've blown up, they're all so happy to see it get the light of day. And a lot of love and heart went into the story, man. And my fellow comic creators and independent, they all know how hard it is to make a book, man. And if they see me out here pouring my guts out with Almega, putting the megaphone out saying, give us a chance, I'm sure they're going to feel a little something like, hey, for $6.99, that's not going to
over 100 pages. I think you need to kind of focus on that, because again, no one sells a book that is over 100 pages for $6.99. Omar sounds like he's crazy, but folks know he's not. He is giving you value for that dollar, because he knows that this book is the business, and Major Thomás is what it is. Now, but Omar, finally, bro. Again, I don't want to keep you more, because I want you to go sit back and do more stories for us. All right. What's next for you? Is there more space epics? Is it a return to Crusader, Or you finally launching that top secret salsa dancing mech comic book you talked about the last time?
No, I don't have the salsa dancing comic book in my future. I got a couple of pitches I'm working on. One of them is like a middle grade historical fiction. I don't know if it's ever going to come out. And I got another one, the rated R one I was telling you about earlier. That's a future dystopia. I really like that one. I could probably see that one probably coming out before anything else. But really in my heart, I want to do more Major Thomás. I want to do a volume 2 where it's told from the perspective maybe of one of the other characters. And then to cap it off, it'd be really neat to do a trilogy and have it capped off by yet a third perspective. Because there's really 3 main characters, right? There's Thomás, there's Lisa, and then there's a little robot monkey, Albert III. I would really love to, because like how George Lucas always says that Star Wars is told from the perspective of C-3PO and R2. I always found that very fascinating. So if he's there all along, the robot monkey, maybe the third story to close off the trilogy could be told more from his perspective. That's what I would like.
It sounds like it his side, her side, and the truth. And the monkey is gonna have the truth.
Es la verdad, Al. That's for sure. That's 100.
I dig it. Yeah. Oh, man, I appreciate the heck out of you, man. Thank you for coming on, and of course, this is the last thing, because obviously it's not just about pimping the book, which is out now. You go get this at Amazon. I'll make sure that these links are in the show notes. That way, you guys can click away and buy this. But if you want to meet Omar, I want to know this. Omar, where you going? Any conventions, any signings, anything where fans can meet you?
I just did WonderCon, and that was great. I got to meet up with these ladies, the Comadres y Comics podcast. They were wonderful to meet with.
Hey, I like that name.
Yeah. So the next one is probably San Diego for me.
I'll meet you there. I'm gonna be there.
Awesome.
I'm all over the house. You're gonna be like, "Oh, this motherfucker's here." That's right. Ahí estamos. Let's
go. So yeah, probably San Diego. I'll probably be on a panel or two. I'll be putting that out on my socials. Everyone can follow me at Omar Morales 81. Any platform you want, even video game platforms. That's where you can find me. I might do Free Comic Book Day here locally. There's a shop here in Dublin, California called King Kong Comics and Games. They typically have me out, as well as other great creators, some great Asian creators from the area. He gives us a table. So yeah, probably those are the 2 easiest ways to come and connect with me.
There we go. So again, just on repeat all over social media, you can follow Omar Morales 81, Omar Morales 81, mi gente. 81, all right. Yeah, I'm Spanish, baby. I got to represent for me, gente. We got to visit Omar's website at The Force Media. That's right, baby, The Force. I mean, there's some working hard. Let me tell you.
Those are free comics on there too on theforcemedia.com. I got a free Mandalorian,
baby.
I got 2 free Metroid comics on there. I've got a Christmas comic on there that people, if you like the X-Files, come check out my Christmas comic. You will love it. And those are free right on my website. And then,
I love it. X-Files and Christmas. How do they go together? You better find out by visiting theforcemedia.com right now.
I want to believe, my friend. I want to believe.
Hey, and of course, you get this book, Major Thomás, right now on Amazon through Comixology Originals, the Morales ebook. Again, I put the link below. But listen, all you gotta do is put Major Thomás, and for you folks, it's Major Thomas. Yes, right. I know we saying it with the Spanish John, but it's Major Thomas for you guys. But we're Latino. He's Latino. We're gonna say Tomás, all right?
That's all right.
Respect that. All right, but I appreciate it. Omar, you're the man. My Crusaders that were out there lurking. I see all of you. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for checking out the show.
Thank you, everybody.
For my man Omar. I mean, I wish you guys were chiming in. Every time I close the show, somebody wants to throw in one comment before we go. I'm like, ooh, bring it now before we go. But anyway, before we do that, you know what it is. Follow everything Comic Crusaders at ComicCrusaders.com, all over the socials of Comic Crusaders, with the exception of YouTube, is Comic Crusaders World, because it's a world of fandom through my extended family that includes the Undercover Capes family. So with that, thank you again, Omar. Thank you, bro. You keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to see what else you got coming up, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. With that, hasta la próxima, mi gente. You know what it is. Wepa!
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit ComicCrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at UndercoverCapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.